Trial of Alec Baldwin, it is getting underway, and it is dividing a lot of people in terms of what they think is right and wrong here. Should he be held accountable? There was other people on this set who already have been held accountable. Hannah Gutierrez, the armorer, also the assistant director, David Halls. He said he admitted he checked it, but didn't check the bullets all that well. Didn't check all of them to make sure that there wasn't a live round in there. And then the gun eventually handed to Alec Baldwin, and we know what happened from there. Joining me to discuss, Eric Faddis, defense attorney and former prosecutor. Eric, let's just talk about this going in. What's your initial impressions here now that we've seen some opening statements being made?
Candidly, Tony, I've never been a huge fan of this case against Alec. I think I share a sentiment that a lot of people have where, this was a tragic accident and perhaps the civil justice system is a better arena in which to adjudicate it. That being said, Alec Baldwin is on trial for involuntary homicide and it is heating up. And as the trial develops, we're learning a lot more.
The question is, I think the big thing is firearm safety and accountability. If you are holding that gun, how much training should you have had? How much accountability do you have to make sure that there's not a live round in that? And if it's already been checked, you already have two people on your staff that are assigned to do this, and they did, and it failed those two checks and went to him. How do you say to Alec Baldwin, you're responsible for this, especially when we talk about dummy rounds, because there's a difference there. There's blanks and there's dummy rounds. I think people kind of mix those two up a little bit. A dummy round looks identical for the most part to a regular bullet. A blank, not so much. You can tell the difference if you're looking at them. I'm not a gun or firearms expert by any mean. If I had two people in front of me saying, okay, here's the scene, here's the gun, it's safe, I couldn't tell you. Alec Baldwin, though, has been on many sets, many scenes, over 100 times handling firearms. Should he have known, or is this kind of a situation where over 100 times nothing's gone wrong? The people who are in charge did their job correctly, and he's just kind of going along with how things have always gone. Is that sloppy, or is that just it's just how life has been? And suddenly this is a different situation.
Yeah, I mean, clearly he's not a firearms expert, right? He's
No.
an actor. The dude gets up and does movies and stuff. And so, we can't, as a society, put that sort of heightened responsibility on him that we would for someone who uses firearms all the time, real firearms in their job. Those people need to be trained and have experience in those. An actor, we're talking about tens of thousands or more productions annually, in which I'm sure there are prop guns. Are we going to require all of those people to go through, extensive firearms trainings to handle a fake gun or what's supposed to be a fake gun? That just seems like a little much.
Is that unreasonable, though? I mean, we're talking about the potential for lives being lost. And honestly, if you look at it's just not to dismiss or downplay the death at all of anyone in this, but if you were to take a look at all of those movies, add them up, the amount of actual accidents on set with it like resulting in death from a firearm, it ain't many. I mean, it's kind of like your odds of dying in a plane crash. Like, could it happen? Sure. But are you going to go? Are you going to examine the plane before you get on the plane to make sure that everything is right? Especially if you don't know how to examine the plane. I don't know if that's a great analogy, but it's an analogy.
No, I hear you. And how far do we take that if we're going to go down that road? Let's say they're doing a Revolutionary War movie and there's cannons involved. Do the actors have to go through some sort of like
Cannon training.
Independence era cannon training? Like, it's just getting to be too far, especially with you said like the infrequency of these incidents. Thankfully, that they are very infrequent.
No, I mean they obviously they happened. This was a horrible one that happened. It just it makes you really. I can see both sides of the argument here, but I think I see both sides of the argument had there been more training, I guess, on set. The argument that's going to be made to that, though, is there was training on set. There was a brief firearms training, and it's on video. Alec Baldwin's not really paying attention. He's over on his phone. He's literally playing around with the gun, kind of like a kid. But again, you're the actor. But I'm going to guess it's like he's been on this. He's seen this routine. He's been through these trainings hundreds of times. It's kind of like, whatever, I kind of got this. It's like a senior in high school, and they're doing it in some sort of initiation for the freshmen, and they're all, oh, what's this? And you're like, whatever, I've done this before. Talking about a gun, though, a little different. Someone's life could be ended. I don't know that that aspect's going to play very well for him in this trial.
Yeah, it's not a great look, and especially when someone lost their life, and you have kind of this rich, famous actor who's sort of cavalierly going through this firearms training, and lo and behold, someone dies from a gun on set. Horrible look, without question. But what he was required to do under the statute is to act with. It's like due cause and circumspection or something.
Mhm.
Due caution and circumspection. So he doesn't need to be an expert. He doesn't need to go above and beyond. He just kind of has to act like a reasonable person in a similar position would. And I think the defense is going to argue that he did what any other actor would do.
Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to follow us wherever you download podcasts, and especially Apple Podcasts, where you can get advanced episode and premium content on our premium channel right there. Also, be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any breaking updates on the stories that matter to you most. We're on TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Brueski, and you'll find us right there. Again, thanks for watching.